camera's an excellent idea.
That's how I remember things.
Yeah, me
If you need a hand with any of that, would you just say?
Yeah, I'm just getting this one. Ooh, this is lovely stuff, guys.
You like it fine or?
Yes, the finer the better. The finer, the hotter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good.
I've tried it all.
Where did you
So
get
all
your
the bags are $10 and they want to, did he already tell you
Yes.
that? They want to recycle them. Look, my husband made a sawdust.
Put that in.
Okay.
Is it sawdust or planing chips?
He went and ground up boards just to make sawdust for us.
That's great.
What's that?
I have a whole bag of
She was saying that sawdust is better than chips.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
planing
sawdust.
chips, the fine
And I
fine
missed,
stuff.
where did you get the sawdust?
I have a friend who's a woodworker,
Yeah.
and he hasn't generated that much, but he knows other woodworkers, and they have, woodworkers now know that they've got lung issues if they're not careful, and so they have
Yeah, would you rather
vacuum
take this out
setters.
now?
That's what that's from.
That's what
Okay.
that's from.
It's kind of powdery.
I have to find a good I have to find a good source in Boise. That's my challenge. I
We
don't
gotta
have
take it
a
out
good
now.
source
This
yet.
is more shaving-y.
No, that's okay.
Okay, all right.
Because this is going to be kind of at the bottom.
So I
Anyway.
would think that the trick is, like with my husband making sawdust, is that they use a lot of treated woods, and I hope, presumably that's not, but I can't imagine that would be a good thing.
I don't. Well, it's not a good thing for you to breathe, but I don't think it has
don't think
any
it
effect. Any effect on the people.
Is there a pot in there already?
No.
Okay. Oh, you're getting it now.
In a good layer on the bottom, and these are going to be.
So those are slipped and burnished.
Yes, these have two kinds of slip, and I just burnished this part. So there's a white slip in there, and then there's a high iron slip in there.
And it's bisqueware.
This is all bisque, yes.
And how many slip options or sigillata did you bring?
I brought 3.
Okay.
And then I brought, and if somebody wants to do it, and we can experiment with it, I brought a blue and a green, because you can make. So we can pull, if we've got some raku tongs, we can identify where they are, and when the dung firing gets hot enough, we can attempt to pull some out.
Okay.
And oxidize them, and the oxidized ones will stay colorful.
Gotcha.
And the rest of them will bury in the dung and keep it, smother it basically, and it will be reduced, and that's what makes it black. And I didn't explain that, did I?
No, when you make your slip, what clay do you use?
I have, I use ball clay for the white, and I have recipes, I brought them in. I use ball clay for the white. I use something called Yankee Hill for a bright orange, and I'm not even sure I can still get that because I brought that, literally brought that with me from Wisconsin.
Right.
And
you've had it since
I've
the
had
80s
it since
or
the
something.
80s.
And that mill has long shut down or whatever. Not the mill,
And
quarry.
this maroon is red iron oxide and ball clay. And then I also have one with red art. And the red iron oxide with ball clay. So
She's ball milling it though.
Yeah.
We don't own a ball mill. That's another grant to write.
it's $1,000 for a new ball mill.
I know,
but
they're
I think you could make.
expensive.
Yeah, and I just had to replace it.
We don't
Tin
own
cup
one.
money.
We need it. No, not tin cup money. That barely keeps the lights on. But a grant.
Well, you could,
Yeah.
you know,
Grant,
you can say, you can put out a wish list. We'd
Yeah.
like a ball mill anyway.
I know. We have an
Ball mill
ongoing
just makes
wish
it really
list.
fine, right?
And
Just
eventually-
grounds it up really fine.
It does. Not
Yeah.
not all of it, but it creates more finer particles in the clay.
Yeah.
So, so what happens in the firing is, basically what we're doing is we're going to light the top of this sawdust, and we're going to, I better put these down or I'm going to break them again. And we're going to light the top of the sawdust and cover it. And the sawdust will smolder. And as it smolders, what's happening is it's starved for oxygen in order to burn. And it actually, and as it burns down, it's really hot as it burns down. I mean, it might be just one thin layer of burning down, but while it's burning, it's going, where's the oxygen? You need oxygen. It reaches into the melted clay, and pulls out oxygen and replaces it with carbon.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
what makes it black. And then it'll burn all the way down. So that's sometimes you get light spots and dark spots. Because maybe I opened the top of the thing to go, "Are you done yet?" and closed it back up, and it got a dose of oxygen in. And so, so that's what happens in a dung firing. If you smother it while it's cooling, it will then pull, because in the dung firing, everything will be red hot inside there. This is just doing it in layers. And that's part of the reason why you do this with an already fired piece, because it wouldn't tolerate the temperature changes in it. So
How do you keep it from parts of it turning black? You know, I mean, how do you not?
that's the other part.
It seems like it'd all
Sorry.
be black from.
So the red, I'm sorry, I gotta get a drink of water.
Smoke is going to be just the thing for her.
Yeah, maybe, I was thinking maybe it just smells like she's a lobster.
I have to wear a respirator raccoon firing anymore. I can't take it. Do you wear a respirator raccoon firing? No? Smart. Yeah. It's a good idea. This won't be as bad, but the dung firing will be. This won't be that bad.
I'm just sensitive right
Yeah.
I might have a mint or something.
I've got drugs. I just have drugs.
Okay.
Anti-coughing
Get 'em out,
drugs?
let's share 'em.
I've got coughing drugs.
You got another one.
Jeez.
None of them work. Maybe it's the years of clay I've
Summer
inhaled.
colds are the worst.
Anyway,
No,
The red-
take off.
the iron in the red slip binds the oxygen. So for the red slip, for that particular red slip, it can't get the oxygen out, so it doesn't replace it with carbon. The white, the ball clay, doesn't have any iron oxide in it, so it doesn't bind the oxygen. So where everything that's white will become black. Or if I opened it up to check to see if it was done and they got oxygen in it, it might be white.
So say that one more time. The iron oxide prevents the oxygen from being pulled out of the clay.
The iron oxide, does the scientist agree with me?
Iron likes oxygen.
Yeah, iron oxide binds the oxygen. The iron binds the oxygen, so it's not available to the fire
Okay.
because the fire's not hot enough. If the fire got hotter to melt, it might be able to get the oxygen out. So you might find areas that have carbon in them, but it's more resistant.
So are we not slipping the stuff that goes in the dung firing, or are we doing that too?
Burnishing.
I know we're burnishing, but
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm sorry. We're slipping everything.
okay. It'll just come out, maybe it'll come out different. Because of the rate of what you're talking about, yeah.
It'll come out different. I actually think the dung fired work if it doesn't all break.
There's the disclaimer.
We'll be great.
It's the prettiest.
It'll look like
make
the
it really
pile over
thick,
there.
how's
No.
It won't break. I did a dung firing workshop in Jackson, and nobody's pieces broke. It
The
can be
last
done.
one I did,
Yeah.
there was only one that broke. So I think I'm getting a little bit better at it. So never knows. If the wind's blowing,
Yeah.
we could have some
We'll call
challenges.
them those
Does it
like
need to
So
be
you got
out of
some,
this terracotta clay?
Huh?
Does it need to be out of this terracotta clay? Or the clay body you use?
I use any kind of clay.
So
body.
the more out of the wind maybe we are, with
Yeah.
the pit, the better.
Yeah.
Of course, the most wind-free place is right by the propane tank, but
Well, let's not do that. But somebody can give me some more sawdust. I'm not going to deal with the sawdust right now because I
Okay.
think that's part of why
I can
got
do
a
that.
coughing fit.
Here,
So
could you
we
hold
need to
this?
put.
Sure will.
You need to fill this
inside.
with sawdust, and some of
Yeah,
these
let me-
fill
let
this
me
with
do that.
sawdust.
Jeannie Sue,
And there's the bucket over here.
do you have Robitussin DM?
I have. I can show you what I have.
She's got lots of stuff.
You got some Robitussin DM, why don't you take it? Get it working.
What is that? For the cough medicine?
Decongestant.
Yeah, just cough
and-
medicine.
It'll,
Got a
help you
decongestant
with
in
your
it?
decongestant.
Sudafed or something?
Yeah, they might have some over it. Oh, you want me to get you?
Oh,
okay,
sure.
okay, yeah,
Get the
okay.
action here.
There you go. I'm getting you the action. there you
stand
go.
on the other side of the wind.
I'll get the
Getting
work
the light
being
right.
done.
People need to take pictures for me of this whole thing.
He's got the whole.
Enough work,
he's got-
workshop and class pictures.
Got you covered, Cynthia.
Good.
Is Dayquil the same?
I got my new phone. Got a good picture.
What's the active ingredient in it?
Dextromethorphan.
Cough suppressant.
Daycare.
Dextromethorphan sounds like DM.
It does sound like DM, doesn't it?
Just take it.
You're good there.
I'm drinking it now.
So I'm filling this.
Okay,
on the
he's
inside.
filling it.
Inside now.
He's filling it all up. We
she
can
glazed the
go in a
inside
little
of those two, or
closer.
glazed
There,
or-
there it is.
No glazes, I think all slips.
All slips.
All
Yeah.
slips.
Terra sigillata, which is just a
Slips.
Terra sigillata is basically like a slip that she subjected to the process she's talking about, where she slaked it, and then she took the fine stuff that floated,
Right.
and then she ball milled it and all that. Or maybe she ball milled it. Ask her.
Okay, the
It's a
top
fine
of the,
slip again. It's just,
top of the
it's
one
just
pot's
fine clay,
right
right?
Yeah, very fine clay. Sometimes a little different ingredients. So to make the slip, which is really terra sigillata, right? Like, tell them about making terra sigillata. You ball mill it and then you or
So there, I'll get you the instructions. But
Yeah.
basically, Terra sigillata. So let's light this and then go inside.
Okay.
We need
do I
newspaper.
need to go get a match?
Back in newspaper.
Lighter in my car. I don't know if I do.
Yeah.
Where are the smokers?
People don't. Nobody smokes. Yeah, nobody smokes anymore.
I've got a lighter.
Except for the tenants leaving the guest house this morning.
Oh no.
They weren't supposed to smoke.
Shoo!
Oh, I do.
Shoo!
They're smoking in the patio, and I go, it says nowhere on the property you're supposed to smoke. And I see, I watch you, they're just about to leave today. I've got it back to back. So during lunch, I'm going back and prepping my guest house for the next guest.
So just light it, huh?
Yeah.
You can
I
need
know the start.
newspaper,
Really,
okay.
considering
Get started with newspaper.
Here's my lid. We have the deposit. We just. Yeah, I feel bad. You know, it's just that.
I see. Don't think it's no with those big wheels. It's not a sailplane.
Okay, I'm gonna use these.
Can I light it?
Wait.
Nope.
Their contract.
So if you want
Bigger
to do
lid.
this later, you have to make your own like slip.
Mary's gonna
I
help
think
you.
it's the slip
I have a metal
that
can
takes
like
the
this.
color.
It's that size.
This is what takes the color with display.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Makes-
use it for raku. The little ones are nice for raku.
Well, she's got a red slip and a white
I'd
slip.
rather have done,
Okay.
I think.
Five.
really all you
Okay.
need.
I was just having a hard time.
Yeah, dog said.
I think you do this in the backyard.
I have a big
Come on, light.
I have a big
This is like when I'm trying to get my
I had to
smoke,
call
my
the
beekeeping
fire
smoker
department
going.
in Boise to get permission to do this.
They're this tall.
Well, we should probably have a hose going all the time with the dry grass out here.
A Westie puppy that's
Let's at least
a little over a year old.
let's at least drag the hose out here so it's handy.
Especially tomorrow when you have this going, you're probably going to have to get the big
Yeah,
I'll wet it down a little bit.
Yeah.
My daughter just adopted.
The wind's blowing that flame your
Oh
direction.
yes.
Yeah.
They
Careful.
were in this last week.
Do you not have a gloves that you can use? Because that thing's going to get
I
hot.
have gloves. They're in my car, which
Oh,
is really
jeez.
stupid.
Where's your, which is your car?
Right there.
Okay.
And
In the back seat,
you're holding the lids there to.
just to keep it from like catching the entire field on fire.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
is your hand getting hot?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I do this all the time.
So does this mean we can fire in our backyard with just a metal can?
As long as you had it bisque.
Bisque.
Yes, yeah.
I have one in my
Actually-
backyard.
Actually, you can fire in your backyard with charcoal briquettes.
Yeah.
You could do a.
I love the clay though. I mean the sawdust.
So you could
I
do.
always
I
have
have.
on hand.
I
You
use.
could do a coffee can with a small pot in it.
Yeah.
Load it. Put it inside that. Put charcoal bricks all the way around it. Light it. Cover it. And you would have fired the pot that was inside the
I
car.
got a fire pit in my backyard.
Probably for the tit
So do I.
fire, we probably technically should have,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
any kind of burning.
So,
Those kind of
so right now you can see a flame.
No.
house.
No.
You really don't want to see
But we
flame.
put a hose
You
in
just
there.
want to
Oh,
see
yeah.
smoke. And you want to see the smallest amount of smoke.
So you mean
that
before
again?
you completely cover it, you don't want to see
I don't want to cover it completely. I want some.
you don't see
We get
flame.
the fire.
You want
Yeah,
the
it's a
flames
commercial
to-
building with fire.
I don't want to see flames. I
Change
want to
it comes
just
and
see it
inspects all the
smoldering like
time.
that.
Especially-
And
And then when you don't see flame, you completely
certain
cover
things actually.
or close it.
no, if you completely
how
close
big
it, you'll
could I get
actually
to
put it out. Now, it depends though.
Well, I'm
If
gonna bring
there's a
another
little
hose
hole in
tomorrow.
there, you might not. I mean, it
I
takes
don't know
quite a
where I'm
while
gonna dig a
to
pit
put it
to
out.
go there.
Sawdust, it's really a scary material actually.
So
It
it'll
can
still be
smolder
getting
for a long, long
oxygen
time.
then from the.
Huh?
It'll still be getting oxygen from like the
Yes,
gap.
that little bit of gap will still be getting oxygen.
So, how long is this? This one will smolder for quite a while.
I'm hoping that by tomorrow evening
Okay.
it'll be done.
So, what's
It's
the
a
safe
small
thing to do
can.
with it?
At night.
Put a rock on it.
Put weight on
What
it?
about that other
Because we
thing?
do get some nuclear wind.
What about that thing around it?
I was just thinking if you get nuclear wind, which we do all the time.
Yes, you do. And
Yeah.
if I were you, I would, before we leave this evening, weight it down with some more rocks.
Yeah.
What about putting that thing around it? That metal thing around it? So it doesn't like blow over or something?
I don't know.
Put it inside that.
It's not.
It'll be fine.
You think?
Yeah.
It's not taller than the lid.
Put holes in the lid and put it down.
I have not done that.
Like you could make adjustable.
Yeah, you know,
Holes in the lid and do
I'm
what?
not very. See, you're an engineer by nature.
Oh, you
I
mean
know.
like to use as a flue almost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have never done that. I've just.
That sounds
kept-
like an extra step.
So tell us one more time about the charcoal firing. Explain that
Oh.
one more time.
Well, I've tried this, and it was, like I said, 1978, years ago. But I'm sure you can find something on YouTube on it. But you can take a coffee can, put it in a can like this. You might want to set it on some bricks, put some charcoal underneath it, cover it with charcoal, light the charcoal, cover the can like this so the charcoal has some oxygen to burn. And it'll fire it's kind of like a Sager firing. You built a little kind of mini kiln and it'll fire the piece inside.
Do you have sawdust inside?
You can put sawdust inside if you want to.
Will it
it'll
catch fire?
I think what ultimately you have is a less of a reducing atmosphere in that condition and more of an oxidizing atmosphere, so you might end up with something that looks a lot like these bisque pieces. But I would, it's been a while since I've done it and I don't remember.
Is there a lid on the coffee can?
No.
No.
No, it's
No.
just kind of hold it.
Is there charcoal in the coffee can, or is
No,
it
that's on
charcoal
the
just
outside.
around
Charcoal's
it?
just
Around it.
around it.
Just around
I
it.
think
Okay.
I think there is a lid on it, but it's not the plastic one.
I was going to say.
Tell them what a Sager firing is, because a lot of people don't know.
Oh, so Sager is when you put a pot inside a pot or inside a container so that it's protected from the normal fuel fumes that you would have around it. Or you can control what's inside that container, and you could make it specific to that container and that pot, but the flame and the burning that goes on around it does not affect what's inside that, but it does fire it.
Just gets the heat,
Yeah, it gets the heat.
not the gases.
Not the gases, yeah. Not the oxygen exchange that you would normally get under those circumstances. So you could do an oxidation firing in a electric kiln if you had it Sagered. Because you could put, you could do a reduction firing in an electric kiln if you Sagered the piece. It would be probably not really great for the electric kiln, but you could do it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes people do it to get specific, like, carbon imprints, like
Yes.
laying leaves on the pots,
right,
or, you
right.
know what I mean, to get, like, images almost, or,
Yeah.
specific combustibles, you know.
So, okay, that's going. Now,
Yay,
you
okay.
wanted me to explain
Terrace of gelato?
terrace of gelato
Yes.
inside. Yeah.